Hello and welcome to Alive Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I'm Dr. Wasim Bellani, and I believe that life isn't just about going through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey as a doctor and heart rhythm cardiologist, and then through my exercise journey in cycling and running, and later in personal development and growth journey, I've learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate your discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Alive Soul podcast. I just have a quick disclaimer before we get started that I'm recording this episode while on vacation abroad with family. So please excuse me for the poor sound and audio quality. I want to start by asking you this question. Have you ever gone through a season where you felt like you lost your spark? A season where you were excited about a goal, a project, or building a new habit? And then, little by little, that excitement started to fade. Your engine that was running at full speed begins to slow down. You still care about what you're doing, but you don't have the same energy. You don't have the same excitement. And after a while, you start wondering, what happened? Have I lost my motivation? Maybe you felt this with exercise, maybe at work. Maybe with a business or a creative project. Maybe with a personal goal you've been chasing for a long time. For me, this summer made that feeling really clear. See, at the start of the summer, I had a rhythm. I was consistent with my workout. I was focused on my projects. And I felt like I was building momentum in a lot of areas of my life. Then things started to slow down when we got into vacation with my family. My schedule became less structured. We had late nights and slow mornings. Workouts got skipped, projects got pushed back, and without really noticing it at first, the consistency I had built started to fade, and the energy I had at the beginning of the summer wasn't there anymore. And that's when I caught myself thinking, what happened? And that question led me to realize something important about how we lose that spark in the first place. See, I don't think the biggest issue is slowing down, because sometimes we need to slow down in some seasons of our lives. I think the biggest danger is slowing down so much that we lose our momentum, because that's usually how it happens. See, very few people wake up one morning and decide that they're done. Instead, life gets busy. We skip a few workouts. We stop working on that project for a while. We tell ourselves, we'll get back to it next week. Then next week becomes next month. And before we know it, the wheel has stopped turning. And when that happens, it's easy to assume that something deeper has changed. But that's not always the case. One idea has really helped me that losing the spark doesn't always mean you've lost your purpose. Sometimes you've simply lost your momentum. And those are two completely different things. See, when our excitement fades, we often assume something is wrong. Maybe I'm not meant to do this anymore. Maybe I should move on. But before you change directions, ask yourself one question. Why did I start this in the first place? What I was hoping to become? What kind of person was I trying to build? But here's the thing. Going back to your why and your purpose doesn't magically bring motivation back overnight. But it reminds you that your purpose may still be there, even if your excitement isn't. And once you reconnect with that purpose, the next step becomes a lot more clear. And here's the second lesson that I've learned, which is simple. Don't wait until you feel like doing everything again. Just do something. Make that first step small. Go for a short walk. Read a few pages of a book. Spend 15 minutes on that project. Write down one idea. It's like that merry-go-round. As long as it's still moving, even slowly, one small push keeps it going, but once it stops completely, getting it back moving again becomes much harder. And our habits works the same exact way. And here's the thing I've learned, that spark and momentum doesn't come before we start moving. It comes back because we started moving. So if you've been feeling like you've lost your spark and momentum lately, don't rush to conclude that you've lost your direction. Maybe you're simply in a slower season. Enjoy the season you're in. Be present with people around you. Get the rest you need. But don't let that temporary slowdown quietly becomes a permanent stop. So go back to your why. Go back to your purpose. Give that wheel one small push. You don't have to run at full speed today. You just have to keep moving in the direction of the person you want to become. And remember that every habit you build, every effort you make, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow.